small compound in Enugu. The engine purred to a stop. Neighbors' curtains twitched. Zara stepped out, her Hermes sandals touching red dust for the first time in 3 years. The compound looked different. New gate, fresh paint, solar panels glinted on the roof. She smiled. A woman sweeping across the street stopped mid motion. Her eyes widened. Then she spat, a thick glob of saliva that landed inches from Zara's feet. She's back, the woman hissed to no one in particular. Hide your husbands. Zara didn't flinch. She'd heard worse online. She grabbed her Louis Vuitton duffel from the back seat and walked through the gate her money had bought. Her mother rushed out, tears already streaming. My daughter is home. They embraced. Zara inhaled the scent of her mother's hair, shea butter, and native black soap. Home. The next morning, Zara went to the market. She needed fresh tomatoes and peppers for her mother's birthday jollof. The market buzzed with the usual chaos. Vendors shouting prices, children weaving between stalls, the smell of dried fish and palm oil thick in the air. But as Zara walked, the chaos dimmed. Conversation stopped. Eyes followed. She pretended not to notice. At the pepper stall, two women whispered loud enough for her to hear. That's her. Zara, the one who left 3 years ago with nothing. And now look, Range Rover, designer bag. You think she got that from selling clothes? Please, that girl's grandmother was a witch. It runs in the family. The first woman lowered her voice, but Zara caught it anyway. I heard she travels to Abuja every month. Different men, different hotels. You know what I mean. Zara's jaw tightened. She pulled out her phone and opened a folder labeled receipts. Dozens of screenshots, striped dashboards, client invoices, ad spend reports. She stared at them for 3 seconds. Then she closed the folder. Not yet. She paid for the papers and turned to leave, and froze. Across the narrow path, near a small provision stall, stood Ada. Ada, the girl who had tutored her in mathematics when everyone else called Zara too dull to pass. Ada, who graduated top of her class with a scholarship to study accounting. Ada, who had a mind like a calculator and a smile that could light up a room. But the woman standing there now didn't smile. Her wrapper was faded, tied loosely around a frame too thin. Her eyes were hollow. She balanced a wooden tray on her head. Sachets of pure water, small packs of biscuits, cheap provisions. Their eyes met. For a moment, neither moved. Then Ada's face crumpled with something between shame and fear. She turned sharply, nearly dropping her tray, and hurried into the crowd. Zara stood frozen, peppers forgotten in her hand. A question burned in her chest. What happened to you? And another, quieter. How do I show you the way out? That night, Zara sat on her mother's veranda, laptop open. The glow of the screen lit her face as she scrolled through her business dashboard. 4.2 million naira this month. A course launch that sold 900 units. Three branding clients lined up. A content calendar mapped out for the next quarter. No rituals, no sugar daddies, just systems. But no one here would believe that. She thought about Ada, about the fear in her eyes, about the way she'd run. Zara closed her laptop and stared into the darkness. Your brain can't want what it's never seen, she whispered to herself. I'll show you the room, Ada. You just have to walk in. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked. The night pressed close, and Zara made a decision. 5 a.m. Ada woke to the sound of her baby crying and her husband Chidi snoring like a broken engine. She slipped out of bed, careful not to wake him. The morning was still dark. The room smelled like stale sweat and yesterday's beans. In the kitchen, if you could call it that, Ida struck a match and lit the kerosene stove. The electric one had died months ago. No money to fix it. She boiled water for Gary. Her 7-year-old son Emeka appeared in the doorway, rubbing his eyes. Mommy, will I go to school today? Ada's chest tightened. The school had sent three notices, 18,000 naira owed. If she didn't pay by Friday, Emeka would be sent home permanently. She forced a smile. Maybe tomorrow, okay? Mommy is working on it. Emeka nodded and shuffled back to the thin mattress he shared with his two siblings. Ada's hands shook as she stirred the gari. Tomorrow. Always tomorrow. Chidi woke an hour later, stretching and yawning like he'd worked a night shift instead of drinking at Mama Ifeoma's bar until midnight. He walked into the kitchen, saw Ada counting coins on the table, 1,200 naira from yesterday's sales, and sneered. That's what you made? My mother was right. You're useless. Ida said nothing. She'd learned that silence was safer. Chidi reached over and took 500 naira from her pile. I need beer money. Chidi, please. That's for the children's. Ada flinched. Her wrist still had a faint bruise from last week's discussion. Chidi pocketed the money and left. The door slammed. The baby started crying again. Ida stared at the remaining 700 naira and felt something inside her crack. Later, that morning, after Chidi left to look for work, code for sitting with his friends, Ada opened her phone. 1,800 emails, all job applications, all rejections. We regret to inform you. Unfortunately, we have selected another candidate. Thank you for your interest, but she closed the app before she could read more. On the wall beside her bed hung a hospital bill. 45,000 naira. Her youngest had fallen sick 2 months ago, malaria. They'd gone to the clinic, gotten treatment, and promised to pay soon. The clinic still called. Ada no longer answered. She opened Facebook, scrolling mindlessly to distract herself from the tightness in her chest. Her feed. Former classmates posting about promotions, new jobs, weddings, vacations. Then she saw it. A post from Zara. The photo showed Zara in a sleek hotel lobby in Abuja, holding a glass of wine. The caption read, Another client signed. Building in public. Grateful. Ada's hand trembled. She typed a comment. Congratulations! So proud of you. Then stared at it for 10 seconds before deleting it. What would people say if they saw her commenting on Zara's post? The woman they whispered about. The one they said used juju and rich men to escape poverty. Ada closed the app and set her phone down. But the image stayed with her. Zara in that lobby. Confident, free, while Ada sat here, counting 700 naira and wondering how to feed three children. Chidi returned that evening, smelling like cheap gin. He saw Ada on her phone and snatched it from her hand. Who are you chatting with? That Zara girl again? I wasn't. I saw you looking at her page yesterday. You think I'm stupid? His voice was rising. That girl is a witch. Everyone knows it. And if you keep following her, people will think you're the same. Eda's voice was barely a whisper. I'm not following her. I was just what? Wishing you could run around like her? Sleeping with men for money? He threw the phone onto the bed. It bounced and hit the wall. You stay away from her. You hear me? I don't want my wife involved in whatever dirty thing she's doing. Ida nodded, her throat tight. Chidi grunted and lay down, turning his back to her. Within minutes, he was snoring again. Ada picked up her phone. The screen was cracked, but it still worked. She opened her banking app. Balance 1,340 naira. She stared at the number until it blurred. Then she opened her notes app and typed a single question. How do people actually make money online? She didn't send it anywhere. She just sat there, staring at the words, because deep down, beneath the fear and exhaustion, a tiny voice whispered, If Zara did it, maybe it's real. But that voice was so quiet, Ada wasn't sure it was even hers. 3 days after seeing Ada at the market, Zara decided to try again. Her mother needed ingredients for her birthday dinner: yam, stockfish, crayfish. The big market on Saturday was the best place to get fresh items. Zara dressed simply this time. No designer bag, just jeans, a white t-shirt, and her natural hair tied back. She wanted to blend in, but blending in was impossible. The moment she entered the market, conversations stopped. Eyes tracked her like she was a crime scene. A group of older women near the yam store whispered loud enough for her to hear. That's the one, Zara, the ritualist. I heard she sacrificed her sister's womb for the money. That's why her sister can't get pregnant. Zara kept walking. She'd trained herself not to react. Online trolls had thickened her skin. These women were amateurs. But then she spotted her, Ada, 3 stalls away, selling small provisions, matches, Maggie cubes, sachets of detergent. Zara's heart quickened. She changed direction, heading straight for Ada's stall. Ada saw her coming. Panic flashed across her face. She quickly started packing up her items, shoving them into a basin with shaking hands. Ada, wait! Zara called. Ada didn't look up. She grabbed the basin, balanced it on her head, and turned toward a side alley. Zara followed. Ada, please, it's just me. Ada stopped at the mouth of the alley, but she didn't turn around. Her shoulders were tense, her breathing fast. I can't be seen with you, Zara. Zara stepped closer. Seen with me? Ada, we went to school together. I'm not a stranger. You know what they're saying? Ada's voice cracked. Rituals. Men. I have 3 children, Zara. I can't. People will think I'm involved in whatever you're doing. Zara felt the words like a slap. Whatever I'm doing, you think I'm out here doing rituals? Ada finally turned. Her eyes were red, exhausted. I don't know what to think. All I know is that you left here with nothing, and now you're driving a Range Rover and posting pictures in 5-star hotels. How does that happen, Zara? How? Zara's jaw clenched. She wanted to shout, to defend herself, to pull out her phone and shove every screenshot, every invoice, every proof of work document into Ida's face. But she took a breath instead. It happens, Zara said slowly, when you learn skills that people pay for. When you work until 2 a.m. every night for months. When you fail 100 times before you figure it out. Ada shook her head. If it were that simple, everyone would do it. It's not simple, but it's possible. Ada looked away, blinking fast. I can't risk it, Zara. People already think I'm useless. If they see me with you, they'll say I'm doing the same things. The same things? Ada, listen to yourself. You're protecting a reputation that's already being dragged because you're selling 50 naira provisions while your husband drinks your profit. The words came out harsher than Zara intended. Ada flinched. Tears spilled over. You don't understand. You left. You don't know what it's like to be stuck here, watching everyone move forward while you disappear. Silence fell between them. A motorcycle buzzed past the alley. Somewhere, a vendor shouted prices. Zara softened her voice. I didn't leave, Ada. I just learned a different game, and I can teach you if you stop running from me. Ada stared at her, tears streaking her dusty cheeks. Why would you help me? Zara smiled, sad and small. Because you helped me pass mathematics when everyone else called me dumb. I don't forget kindness, Ada. Ever. Ada's breath itched. Zara stepped closer. And because nobody wins alone. Not really. I didn't build this by myself. I had mentors, people who showed me what was possible. Let me be that for you. Ada wiped her face with the back of her hand, smudging dust across her cheek. I don't know. One conversation, Zara said. That's all I'm asking. Come to my mother's house tonight, back door. No one will see. Ada's hands trembled on the basin. And if it's a trap? If people find out, then you leave, no loss. But Ada, Zara locked eyes with her. What if it's not a trap? What if you stay here, in this exact spot, because you were too afraid to try? Ada looked down at her worn slippers, at the basin of provisions on her head worth maybe 3,000 naira total, at the alley that smelled like rot and stale water. Then she looked back at Zara. Okay, she whispered, tonight, but nobody can know. Zara nodded. Nobody will. Ada adjusted the basin and walked back into the market, her steps slow and uncertain. Zara watched her go. Then she pulled out her phone and opened a document titled A DATEACHINGPLAN. She had 5 hours to prepare. and she wasn't going to waste a single one. 9:47 p.m. Ada stood outside Zara's mother's compound, a headscarf pulled low over her face. She'd waited until Chidi was drunk and asleep before sneaking out. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. What if someone saw her? What if this was a mistake? The back door creaked open. Zara stood in the doorway, backlit by warm yellow light. Come in, quickly. Ada slipped inside. The house smelled like jollof rice and airwick. Clean, comfortable. So different from the kerosene and mildew Ada lived with. Zara led her to a small sitting room. On the table, a MacBook, a ring light, a whiteboard covered in numbers and timelines. No candles, no charms, no red cloth or strange symbols. Just work. Ada's chest tightened. Sit, Zara said gently. Want water? Ada shook her head. She was too nervous to swallow. Zara sat across from her, the laptop between them. I'm going to show you something, and I need you to keep an open mind. Can you do that? Ada nodded. Mute. Zara turned the laptop around. This, she said, is Stripe. It's a payment processor. See this number? Ada leaned forward. The screen showed a dashboard with graphs, numbers, transaction logs. At the top, 4,287,600 naira this month. Ada's eyes widened. That's 4 million naira? 4.2, Zara corrected. From a digital course I sold. 915 people bought it at 5,000 naira each. No man gave me this money, Ada. 915 strangers on the internet paid me to teach them something I know. Ada stared. Her brain couldn't process it. A course? Like school? Like a video program? I teach people how to build personal brands and monetize content. It took me 8 months to create. I failed 3 launches before this one worked. But when it worked, Zara gestured at the screen. This happened. Ada's mouth was dry. How? How do people even find you? Content. Zara opened another tab, her Instagram profile. 47,000 followers. I post 3 times a day. Educational content, story driven posts. I teach for free, then sell the deeper stuff. She scrolled through posts. Felt dizzy. I don't understand. If it's this easy, why isn't everyone doing it? It's not easy, Zara said firmly. It's simple, but it's not easy. Most people quit after 2 weeks because they don't see results fast enough. I posted every day for 4 months before I made my first 100,000 naira. She opened another tab. This is my content calendar. See? Every post planned, every caption written in advance. I batch create content on Sundays, so I'm never scrambling. Ada's head was spinning. But the money, the Range Rover, the trips, how reinvestment. Zara clicked to a spreadsheet. Look, month one, I made 50,000 naira from freelance branding work. I spent 40,000 naira on a course to learn Facebook ads. Month 3, I made 200,000 naira. I spent 150,000 naira on a website and better equipment. She scrolled down. Month 6, I made 800,000 naira. I hired a video editor for 80,000 naira. Month 9, I made 1.2 million naira. I bought my first car, second-hand Toyota. Then I kept building. Ada's voice was barely a whisper. And the boutiques came later. Year 2, I used online money to open physical businesses because people here don't believe in digital income. But the boutiques are just proof. The real money, Zara tapped the laptop. It's here. She opened another folder. Invoices, real client names, real companies. Brand strategy, XYZ Ltd, 250,000 naira. Content creation, ABC Ventures, 180,000 naira. Social media management, DF Group, 300,000 naira per month. Ada's hands trembled as she reached toward the screen, then pulled back like it might burn her. This doesn't make sense, she said, her voice breaking. If this is real, why don't people know? Why are they saying, because, Zara interrupted gently, people would rather believe in witchcraft than effort. It's easier to say I slept my way up than to admit they could have done it too if they just started. Silence. Ada stared at the screen, at the numbers, at the proof. Then she looked at Zara, really looked, at the girl who used to struggle with math, who got mocked in school for being slow, who left with nothing and came back with everything. Teach me, Eddie whispered. Zara leaned forward. Are you sure? Because this won't be comfortable. You'll have to learn things that feel foreign. You'll have to show up when you're tired. You'll have to post content when people are watching. And they will talk, Ada. They'll say the same things about you that they say about me. Ada's breath shuddered. I'm already dying slowly, Zara. If I stay where I am, I'll disappear. At least this way, maybe I become something. Zara smiled, a real smile. Okay, then here's the deal. 90 days. I'll teach you everything I know. Branding, content, sales funnels, audience building. You work, you show up, you don't quit when it's hard. She pulled out a notebook and slid it across the table. And you start by answering one question. What do you know that someone else would pay to learn? Ada stared at the blank page. Her mind raced. What do I know? I'm nobody. I'm just. Stop! Zara's voice cut through the spiral. I can see you thinking yourself small. You graduated top of your class in accounting. You can explain money to people who don't understand it. That's a skill, Ada. A valuable one. Ada blinked. You think people would pay me to teach them about money? Not teach. Solve problems. Small business owners who can't organize their finances. People who don't know how to budget. Market women who need simple bookkeeping. Zara nodded. Yes, they'd pay. Ada picked up the pen. Her hand was still shaking, but she wrote, Financial clarity for small business owners. Zara read it and grinned. Perfect. That's your niche. Now we build. They worked until 1 a.m. Zara showed Ada how to set up a business Instagram account, write her first post, they drafted and deleted 12 versions, identify her ideal client, map out her first offer, a 15,000 naira consultation to organize someone's business finances. When Ada finally stood to leave, her head was buzzing, overwhelmed, terrified, excited. One more thing, Zara said at the door. Everything from now on is your responsibility, not your husband's, not the economy's, not bad luck. You own your results. If something doesn't work, you fix it. If you don't know how, you learn. Deal? Ida swallowed hard. Deal. Good. Zara squeezed her shoulder. Now go home, and tomorrow you post. Ida walked back through the dark streets, her heart pounding. In her pocket, her phone buzzed. A notification from Instagram. Zara had tagged her in a story. Excited to watch this one build. Stay tuned. Ada stared at it. Then she screenshot it and saved it to a folder labeled proof. Because if she was going to do this, if she was going to risk everything, she needed to remember why. And the why was simple. Her children deserved more than 700 naira and broken promises. Chidi woke up. The caption read, You don't need an accounting degree to organize your business finances. You just need the right system. Here are three mistakes I see small business owners make and how to fix them. Thread. She hit post and immediately wanted to delete it. What if people laughed? What if no one cared? What if Chidi saw it? She locked her phone and hid it under her wrapper. By 7 a.m., three people had liked it. By 9 a.m., 12. By noon, one person had commented, This is actually helpful. Do you do consultations? Ada stared at the comment for 5 full minutes. Then she screenshot it and sent it to Zara. Zara replied instantly, Respond. Say yes. Quote 15,000 naira. If she says no, that's fine. But respond. Ada's hands shook as she typed, Yes, I do. 15,000 naira for a 2-hour session where we'll organize your finances and create a simple tracking system. Interested? She hit send before she could overthink it. 10 minutes later, Yes, please. How do I pay? Ada's vision blurred. She sent her account number. At 2:47 p.m., her phone buzzed with a bank alert. Credit alert. 15,000 naira. Ada sat on the floor of her tiny kitchen and cried. Not loud, not hysterical, just silent tears that wouldn't stop. Because for the first time in years, she'd earned money that no one could take from her. Money she didn't have to beg for, money she made. Week two, Chidi started noticing. Why are you always on that phone? He asked one evening, his voice sharp. Who are you talking to? Just old friends from school, chatting. He grabbed the phone from her hand before she could stop him. He scrolled through her Instagram, saw her posts, saw the comments, saw her growing follower count. 87 people now. What is this? He shoved the phone back at her. You're posting about business. You! You can barely sell 500 naira provisions and now you're giving advice? Ada kept her voice steady. I'm just trying something new. Trying something new, he mocked. You're embarrassing me. My friends are asking why my wife is on social media like some influencer. He spat the word like it was poison. Eddie said nothing. She'd learned that silence was survival. But that night, after Chidi fell asleep, she posted again and again the next day, and the day after that. Months too. Ida's content was gaining traction. 50 likes became 100. 100 became 200. Her follower count hit 340. She'd done 4 consultations now. 60,000 naira total. She opened a secret bank account Chidi didn't know about and transferred the money there immediately. Zara kept coaching her. Late night voice notes, feedback on her captions, encouragement when Ada wanted to quit, which was often. One night, Zara sent a message. You're doing the thing most people never do. You're staying consistent even when it feels pointless. That's the difference between people who make it and people who don't. Ada screenshot the message and read it every morning. Then came the breakthrough. A woman in Lagos, someone Ada had never met, sent a DM. Hi Ada, I've been following your content for 3 weeks. I run a small catering business and my finances are a mess. I can't tell if I'm profitable or just busy. Can you help? I'll pay whatever you charge. Ada's heart raced. She called Zara. What do I charge? This is a bigger job than the others. Zara didn't hesitate. 50,000 naira. And don't flinch when you say it. 50,000 naira. That's too much. It's not. You're solving an expensive problem. She's losing money because she doesn't know her numbers. Charge what you're worth. Ada typed the message with shaking hands. 50,000 naira for a full financial audit and a custom tracking system. We'll meet on Zoom for 3 hours. She hit send and immediately regretted it. 2 minutes later, done. Sending payment now. Ada stared at the screen. Then her phone buzzed. Credit alert. 50,000 naira. She sat down hard, dizzy. That was more than Chidi made in 2 months of looking for work. That night, she paid her son's school fees in full. The teacher's face went slack with shock. I thought, I didn't think you could. Things changed, Ada said quietly. And they had. Month 3. Ada created her first digital product, a simple PDF guide called 5 Steps to Financial Clarity for Small Business Owners. 3,000 naira per copy. Zara helped her set up a payment link and taught her how to promote it. Talk about the problem first, Zara said. Make people feel the pain. Then offer the solution. Ada posted, you're working 12-hour days but still can't pay your rent on time. You're making sales but don't know where the money goes. You're tired of guessing if your business is actually profitable. I made a guide that fixes this. 3,000 naira, link in bio. In the first 24 hours, 3 people bought it. In the first week, 15. In the first month, 43. 129,000 naira. Ada stared at the number. It didn't feel real. She reinvested 30,000 naira in a better phone for creating content. She bought a 15,000 naira copywriting course Zara recommended. She saved the rest. Zara sent a voice note. See, this is how it compounds. You're not just making money, you're learning how to make it again and again. That's the real wealth. Ada played the voice note 5 times because for the first time in her life, she felt something dangerous. Hope. Month 4, Chidi found out. He was scrolling through Facebook one afternoon when he saw someone share Ada's post. He clicked her profile, saw her follower count, now 890 people, saw her pinned post advertising the financial guide. That night he exploded. You've been hiding money from me? I'm not hiding. He grabbed her phone, scrolling furiously through her bank app. When he found a secret account, his face went red. 340,000 naira? Where did this come from? Ada's voice was calm, calmer than she felt. I earned it. Online work. I've been building a business. A business? What business? Selling your body online like that Zara girl? I sell financial advice. I help people organize their. He slapped the phone out of her hand. It skittered across the floor, the screen cracking. Ada's youngest child started crying. You think you're better than me now? Chidi's voice was low, dangerous. You think because you have a little money, you can disrespect me? I'm not disrespecting you. I'm trying to help. Help? You're making me look like a fool. My friends saw your posts. They're asking why my wife is on social media like some prostitute. Ida felt something inside her shift. A line she didn't know existed suddenly crossed. I'm not a prostitute, she said quietly. I'm a businesswoman. Chidi's eyes narrowed. What did you just say? You heard me. He stepped closer. Ada braced for the hit, but instead he snatched her ATM card from the table. No more phone, no more business. You stay home, act like a proper wife, or I'll throw you out. He stormed out, slamming the door so hard the walls shook. Ada stood frozen, a cracked phone on the floor, her children staring at her with wide, scared eyes. Then she picked up the phone. The screen still worked, and she texted Zara from a neighbor's Wi Fi. He found out. He took my ATM card. I don't know what to do. Zara's reply came instantly. Come to my house. Now. Bring the kids if you have to. Ada looked at her sleeping children, at the room that smelled like fear and small dreams, at the life she'd been shrinking herself to fit, and she made a choice. She woke her children, packed a single bag, and walked out the door into the unknown. Midnight. Ada stood at Zara's gate with three sleepy children and a bag that held everything she owned: two wrappers, a notebook, her cracked phone, and a Bible her mother had given her. Zara opened the door before Ada could knock. Come in, quickly. Inside, Zara had already set up mattresses on the floor, blankets, bottles of water, like she'd been expecting this. Maybe she had. Ada's youngest immediately curled up on a mattress and fell back asleep. Her two older children sat close together, eyes wide and uncertain. Zara knelt in front of them. You're safe here, I promise. Then she looked at Ada. Are you okay? Ada nodded, then shook her head, then started crying. Zara pulled her into the kitchen, away from the children, and let her break. When Ida could finally speak, she told Zara everything: the slap that wasn't a slap, the card he took, the threat. Zara listened, her jaw tight. You can stay here as long as you need, she said. But Ida, you need to decide something tonight. Ida wiped her face. Decide what? What you want. Do you want to go back? Apologize? Make yourself small again? Or do you want to keep building even if it costs you everything? Ada's voice cracked. If I leave him, the whole town will blame me. They'll say I destroyed my marriage for money, for vanity. They'll call me what they call you. They will, Zara agreed. And you'll survive it because the alternative is going back to a man who hits you for wanting more, who takes your money, who makes you beg for your own life. Ida Star. The gossip reached a fever pitch. It started in the market, then spread to church groups, then exploded across every WhatsApp group in town. Ada is teaching women to leave their husbands. She's selling fake business courses to desperate women. She and Zara are running a pyramid scheme targeting housewives. I heard she's using her children for rituals. That's where the money comes from. The messages grew more vicious by the day. Someone created a fake Facebook profile and posted, I paid Ada 5,000 naira for her financial guide, and it's just 15 pages of common sense. Total scam. Don't waste your money. The post got 47 shares. Three women who'd bought Ada's workbook commented, demanding refunds. It didn't work. Ada clicked on their profiles. None of them had any evidence of using the workbook. No completed pages, no questions, nothing. She messaged each one privately. What specifically didn't work? I'd like to help you get results. Only one responded. I didn't have time to fill it out, but still, it didn't help. Ada closed her laptop. Zara found her sitting on the floor of her apartment, staring at the wall. They're saying I'm scamming people. I know. I saw. What if they're right? Ada's voice cracked. What if I'm hurting people? What if I should just stop? Zara pulled out her phone. Read this. It was a screenshot of a testimonial from a woman in Owerri. I bought Ida's Financial Clarity Workbook 3 weeks ago. I've been running a small tailoring business for 2 years, but never knew if I was actually making profit or just staying busy. I used her system to track everything for 21 days and discovered I was losing 15,000 naira every month on fabric I never used. I've now cut my waste by 60% and I'm finally profitable. This workbook saved my business, worth every kobo. Below it, another screenshot. A message from a woman in Lagos. Ada's consultation changed my life. I had 400,000 naira in business savings mixed with personal expenses. I didn't know how to separate them or what to prioritize. She spent 2 hours teaching me a system I now use every single day. My business revenue is up 35% because I finally understand my numbers. Thank you, Ada. Zara sat beside her. You're not hurting people. You're threatening their excuses. The women demanding refunds, they never tried. They bought the workbook hoping for magic, then got mad when it required effort. Ada wiped her eyes. But what if more people believe the lies? Some will, but here's the truth. You can't control what they say. You can only control what you build. And every person you actually help, they become proof. Living proof that you're not a scam. Ada took a shaky breath. So what do I do? You post and you double down. Show your face. Tell your story. Let people see the real you. Wins, struggles, everything. Transparency is the best defense. The post. That evening, Ada sat in front of her ring light. She'd been avoiding video content, too scared to be that visible. But Zara's words echoed, show your face. She hit record. Hi, my name is Ida. Some of you know me as the woman who posts about business finances. Others know me as the woman who abandoned her marriage for money. Let me tell you what really happened. Her voice was shaky at first, but it steadied as she spoke. I left my marriage because staying meant teaching my daughters that abuse is the price of security. I started building a business because I was tired of begging for 500 naira while my children watched me disappear. And yes, I learned from Zara, the same Zara people call a witch. She didn't offer me rituals, she offered me receipts. She held up her laptop screen to the camera. This is my Stripe dashboard, 1.8 million naira in 6 months, from consultation fees, digital products, and teaching women what I know. No pyramid scheme, no rituals, just skills and consistency. She showed her client testimonials, real names, real faces, real results. I'm not perfect. I'm learning as I go. But I'm not a scam. And if you think leaving an abusive marriage for a better life makes me a bad woman, then I'm okay being bad. She paused, then added, to the women watching this in silence, scared to try because you don't want to be judged like I'm being judged. Let me tell you something. They're going to judge you anyway. You can be broke and judged, or you can be free and judged. Choose freedom. She ended the recording and stared at it for 5 minutes. Then she posted it. Hours. The video had 412 views. The comment section was a war zone. Proud of you, Ida. You're an inspiration. This is nonsense. You left your husband for money. Disgusting. I've been following you for months and your content is gold. Keep going. You and Zara are leading women astray. God will judge you. My sister bought your workbook and it helped her organize her shop finances. Thank you. Home wrecker. Ada read every comment. The good ones made her smile. The bad ones made her stomach churn. But something else happened. Her DMs exploded. 47 women messaged her privately. Most said the same thing. I'm in the same situation. Can you teach me? I've been watching you. I didn't know living was possible. Thank you for showing me. My husband takes my money too. I don't know what to do. Can we talk? Ada stared at her phone, overwhelmed. Zara knocked on her door. You okay? Ada showed her the DMS. They are reaching out. Women I've never met. They want help. Zara smiled. That's the ripple. You threw the stone when you left. Now you're seeing the waves. Ada's hands trembled. I don't know if I'm ready to help these many people. You're not, Zara said honestly, but you will be. That's the thing about growth. It happens in the doing, not the planning. Ada took a breath. Then she opened the first DM and typed, Yes, I'll help you. But you have to be ready for the discomfort. You have to be ready for people to misunderstand you. And you have to be ready to win anyway. If you are, let's talk. She hit send. Then she responded to the next one and the next. And by the time she looked up, it was 2 a.m. and she'd answered 32 women. Her fingers ached, her eyes burned, but she felt something she hadn't felt in years purpose. Month 7, Ada hired a first employee, a 24-year-old woman named Ngozi, who'd been quietly following Ada's journey since month 2. Ngozi had sent a DM. I'm good with social media and I believe in what you're building. Can I help? I don't need much pay, just a chance. Ada paid her 40,000 naira per month to manage her Instagram, respond to DMs, and schedule posts. It felt terrifying and liberating to hand over control. Zara coached her through it. This is how you scale. You can't do everything yourself. Hire people better than you at the things that drain you, then focus on high value work. Within 2 weeks, Ngozi had organized Ada's content calendar, created templates, and increased engagement by 40%. Ada's follower count is 2,100. The speaking invitation. A woman named Kioma ran a small NGO that empowered market women. She'd seen Ada's video and sent an email. We're hosting a women's empowerment summit next month. 200 attendees, market women, shop owners, small business owners. I'd like you to speak. Topic: Financial clarity for small businesses. We'll pay 150,000 naira. Ada's heart stopped. 150,000 naira to speak for 1 hour? She immediately called Zara. This feels too good to be true. What if it's a trap? It's not a trap. It's what happens when you build in public. Opportunities find you. Zara paused. But Ada, you need to know the moment you step on that stage, you're publicly choosing your new life. There's no going back. Ada was quiet. Then, I don't want to go back. Then say yes. Ada replied to the email. I'd be honored. Let's discuss details. The smear campaign intensifies. 2 weeks before the summit, the attacks escalated. Someone posted in multiple Facebook groups warning Ada and Zara are running a pyramid scheme. They're recruiting women to join their business mentorship program and taking their money. Several women have lost 50,000 naira each. Don't fall for it. Share to warn others. The post went viral. 183 shares, hundreds of comments. I knew something was off about them. These girls are scammers. Someone needs to report them. My cousin said she paid Ada for a consultation and never got it. Scam! Ada's chest tightened as she read. Her vision blurred. Then her phone rang. A number she didn't recognize. Hello? Is this Ada? A woman's voice. Nervous. Yes, who is this? My name is Patience. I saw the post calling you a scammer. I want you to know it's a lie. Eddie's breath caught. What? I bought your workbook 3 months ago. It helped me organize my provisions shop. I'm making 60,000 naira profit a month now instead of just breaking even. When I saw that post, I commented defending you, and the person who made the post blocked me. Eda's eyes filled with tears. Thank you. You don't know what that means. I do know because I was in a bad marriage too. I watched you leave, and now I'm planning my own exit. You gave me courage, Ada. Don't let them silence you. The call ended. Ada sat on her bed, staring at the wall. Then Zara walked in with a laptop and a determined expression. We're fighting back. How? By telling the truth, louder than they're telling lies. The counter post. Zara helped Ada draft a response. They posted it on Instagram, Facebook, and sent it directly to the women defending her. There's a post circulating calling me a scammer. Here's the truth. 1. I have never run a pyramid scheme or recruitment program. I sell two products, a 3,000 naira workbook and a 5,000 naira tracker. You buy them or you don't. No recruitment, no tears. 2. I have completed 37 consultations. Every single client received their session. I have email confirmations, Zoom recordings with permission, and testimonials. If anyone claims they paid and didn't receive service, I invite them to email me directly with proof. I will refund immediately. 3. I'm attaching receipts, client testimonials with faces and names, transaction records, and a public email where anyone can verify my work. I'm not asking you to like me. I'm asking you to think critically. If someone claims I scammed them, ask for proof. Real names, real receipts, not anonymous accusations. To the women supporting me, thank you. To the women watching in silence, I see you. Keep going. The post got 89 comments in the first hour, half supportive, half vicious. But something else happened. 7 women came forward with detailed testimonials, unprompted, posting their own experiences with Ada's work. One posted her bank statement showing increased profits after using Ada's tracker. Another posted a video. I'm a seamstress in Aba. Ada's consultation taught me how to track fabric costs, and I've saved 45,000 naira in 3 months. This is not a scam. This is real skill. The tide began to turn, slowly. The night before the summit, Ada couldn't sleep. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every worst case scenario. What if people boo her off stage? What if Chidi shows up? What if she freezes and can't speak? At 2 a.m., Zara knocked softly. You awake? Yeah. Zara sat on the edge of the bed. Want to know what I do when I'm scared? What? I remind myself, discomfort is the price of acceleration. Every time you do something that scares you, you compress years into months. That stage tomorrow, that's your acceleration point. Ida turned to look at her. What if I fail? Then you fail forward. You learn, you adjust, but you don't quit. Zara smiled. Besides, you've already survived the hardest part, leaving. Everything after that is just logistics. Ada managed a small smile. Get some sleep, Zara said. Tomorrow you show them who you really are. The hall was packed. 200 women filled the seats. Market traders, shop owners, hairdressers, caterers. Women who looked like Ada once did. Tired, hopeful, hungry for something more. The stage loomed at the front, a microphone standing like a dare. Ada sat in the second row, her heart hammering. She wore a simple blue dress Zara had helped her pick out. Professional but approachable. Zara squeezed her hand. You've got this. In the back row, Ada spotted them. Chidi and his brothers, arms crossed, faces hard, her stomach dropped. Zara followed her gaze and leaned close. He came to intimidate you. Don't give him the power. You speak to the women who need to hear you, not the man who tried to silence you. Ada nodded, swallowing hard. The organizer, Kioma, stepped to the mic. Our next speaker is someone many of you have heard about. Some love her, some have opinions, nervous laughter. But her story matters. Please welcome Ada. Scattered applause, some enthusiastic, some hesitant. Ada stood on shaking legs and walked to the stage. The lights were bright. The microphone felt miles away. She reached it, gripped the stand, and looked out at 200 faces, some curious, some hostile, some hopeful. She took a breath. Good afternoon. My name is Ada. Her voice echoed. Some of you know me as the woman who posts about business finances. Others know me as the woman who abandoned a marriage for money. Let me tell you what really happened. A woman in the third row crossed her arms. Another leaned forward. Ada continued. 5 years ago, I graduated top of my class with an accounting degree. Full scholarship. Everyone said I'd be successful. But after graduation, I sent 200 applications, got zero jobs, no connections, no money for professional exams. She saw heads nodding. They knew this story. It was their story too. So I married a man my parents approved of. And for 3 years, I sold 50 naira provisions while my husband drank my profits and told me I was useless. The room went quiet. Then I saw Zara. Heads turned to where Zara sat. Whispers rippled. The same Zara you call a witch. The one you say used rituals and rich men. She didn't offer me juju. She offered me receipts. Ada pulled out her laptop and connected it to the projector. The screen behind her lit up. This, she said, is my striped dashboard. Gasps filled the room. 1,847,300 naira. Last 6 months. Digital products. No pyramid scheme. No man's money. Just teaching women what I know about organizing finances. She clicked to the next slide. Client testimonials. Real names. Real faces. Ada helped me save 45,000 naira in 3 months by tracking my fabric waste. I was losing money and didn't know it. Her system showed me where the leaks were. Best 5,000 naira I ever spent. My business is finally profitable. More slides, invoices, transaction receipts, Facebook ad reports showing exactly how she promoted her products. I learned this from Zara. She taught me branding, content strategy, sales funnels, skills I can use forever. I worked until 2 a.m. while my children slept. I failed 100 times before I figured it out. A woman in the front row was crying silently. Ada's voice grew stronger. I left my marriage because staying meant teaching my daughters that abuse is the price of security, and I will not teach them that. Lies! Chidi's voice boomed from the back. The room went silent. All heads turned. Chidi stood, his brothers flanking him. She's lying. She abandoned her home, destroyed her family, and now she's here, pretending to be some businesswoman? Ada's heart raced. Every instinct screamed at her to shrink, to apologize, to run, but she didn't. She looked directly at him. I have bank statements, tax receipts, client contracts, 37 women who can verify I provided the services they paid for. Her voice didn't waver. What receipts do you have, Chidi? What proof of the man you claim to be? The room held its breath. Chidi's face reddened. You can't talk to me like this is my stage, my story, and you don't get to rewrite it. One woman stood and began clapping. Then another. Then 10. Then half the room. Chidi stood there, fury and humiliation warring on his face, before he stormed out, his brothers trailing behind. The door slammed. Ada's knees nearly gave out, but she gripped the podium and stayed standing. Kioma, the organizer, appeared beside her with an envelope. This is your payment, 150,000 naira. And she smiled. Three other organizations want you to speak. I have their contacts. Ada took the envelope with shaking hands. Then she looked out at the audience, at the women still on their feet clapping, and she realized she'd done it. She'd told the truth out loud and survived. After the event, women swarmed her. Some wanted photos, some wanted advice, some just wanted to touch her hand and whisper, Thank you. One woman, maybe 50 years old, grabbed Ada's arm. My daughter is in the same situation you were in. Can you talk to her? Please? Another. I've been following you online for months. I didn't believe it was real until I saw you today. Will you teach me? Ada answered, each one, her voice hoarse, her energy draining, but her heart full. Zara waited by the door, smiling. When Ada finally broke free, Zara handed her a bottle of water. How do you feel? Ada drank half the bottle in one go. Exhausted, terrified, alive. That's what breakthrough feels like. They walked to the car. As Ada slid into the passenger seat, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I was at the summit today. Your story broke something open in me. I've been in an abusive marriage for 12 years. I have 50,000 naira saved in secret. Is it enough to start? Can you teach me? Ada stared at the message. Then she showed it to Zara. Zara read it and nodded slowly. So, what are you going to do? Ada typed. Yes, 50,000 naira is enough. Let's talk tomorrow. You're not alone anymore. She hit send. And in that moment, sitting in the car with the city humming around them, Ada understood something profound. Her story wasn't just hers anymore. It belonged to every woman watching, waiting, wondering if escape was possible. And the answer was yes, 3 months later. Ada sat in a glass-walled conference room in Abuja, editing slides for her first online course, From Broke to Booked: Financial Clarity for Service Providers. 15,000 naira per enrollment, pre-launch waitlist, 89 people. Her business had grown past anything she'd imagined. Monthly revenue, 850,000 naira. Two employees, Ngozi, social media, and a VA named Blessing, customer service. A small rented office space in Enugu, a speaking calendar booked 3 months out. But the number that made her pause was different. 47 women had joined her private mentorship program. Women she was now teaching, one on one, how to build their own businesses. Some were leaving abusive marriages. Some were stuck in dead end jobs. Some just wanted more. All of them were brave enough to try. Zara walked into the conference room carrying two smoothie bowls. Break time. You've been staring at that screen for 3 hours. Ada accepted the bowl gratefully. I'm trying to make sure the course is perfect. What if people don't get results? Some won't, Zara said honestly. Not because the course is bad, but because they won't do the work. And that's okay. You can't save everyone. You can only show them the door. Ada nodded slowly. I got a message today. A woman from secondary school. She said, I watched you get brave. Now I'm trying. That felt bigger than money. Zara smiled. That's the ripple. You threw the stone when you left Chidi. Then you threw another when you spoke at that summit. Now you're watching the waves spread. You can't see where it ends. You just keep throwing stones. They ate in comfortable silence for a moment. Then Ada's phone buzzed. A DM notification from Instagram. She opened it. Hi, Ada. My name is Chinwe. I'm 28, married with two kids. My husband takes my money and tells me I'm worthless. I've been watching your story for months, and today I finally opened a secret bank account. I have 12,000 naira saved. It's not much, but it's mine. I don't know what to do next. Can you help me? Ada's chest tightened. She showed the message to Zara. Zara read it and looked up. What are you going to do? Ada thought about the woman she used to be, counting 700 naira, trapped, invisible, about the woman she was now, free, building, creating space for others. She typed, Yes, Chinwe, I'll help you. But first, I need you to understand something. This journey will be uncomfortable. People will misunderstand you. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you're destroying your family, and you'll survive it anyway because the alternative is disappearing while everyone applauds your suffering. If you're ready for that discomfort, if you're ready to choose yourself, then let's start. Your 12,000 naira is enough. I started with less. She hit send. Seconds later, I'm ready. Thank you for not giving up. You showed me it's possible. Ada set her phone down and looked at Zara. Do you think they'll ever stop talking? The gossip, the accusations. No. Zara's answer was immediate. But you'll stop caring. And that's when you really win. When did you stop caring? Zara thought about it. The day I realized their comfort was costing me my future. Their opinions were free. My freedom was expensive. I chose expensive. Ada smiled. I'm learning that. You're not just learning it, you're teaching it. Zara gestured to Ada's phone. Every woman who messages you, that's proof. You're not just building a business, Ada, you're building permission. Permission for other women to want more, to live, to try. That's generational work. Later, that evening, the rooftop restaurant. They returned to the same rooftop spot where they'd celebrated months ago. But this time felt different. Less relief, more momentum. I've been thinking, Ida said, picking at her suya, about scaling. I can't do one-on-one consultations forever. The demand is too high. So what's next? Group coaching. And I want to hire someone to help me build out the course properly, make it world class. Zara grinned. Look at you, thinking like a CEO. I learned from the best. The clinked glasses of Chapman. Then Zara pulled out her phone. Speaking of scaling, I have something to show you. She turned the screen around. A website mock-up. Professional. Sleek. Next up, the skills to money tour. Two women, two stories, one truth. Skills greater than secrets. Coming to five cities: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Ibadan. A live event where we show our receipts, literally, dashboards, invoices, strategies, and the real story of how we built from zero. The end share, like and subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next video. God bless you.